Hey guys, welcome to another one of our reviews. I'm the Worm, this is the Proton. Today we're going to be doing a Cloupor Glassomizer tank, whichever you call them, but it does come under the Glassomizer category, but some people do still refer to them as Cloupomizers. But we're doing another Cloupor Glassomizer tank. We did receive this free of charge. It won't affect our review in any way, shape or form.
In Dingle. Right guys, what we're doing today is the Cloupor, whatever that is, C1 tank, patent pending. We received this from Cloupor.com, direct from manufacturer. We do not know whether you can buy these there. They have got contact details on there. I'd imagine you can't. So you may have to find a reseller, guys, but we'll link the site up there for you. We'll also link it down there, and we'll put any resellers that we do stumble across as well. So what we're going to do, guys, very quickly, have been using this a little bit, but going to show you what you get in the box. Pretty used to this kind of standard format now, and then show you some of the interesting bits and bobs about it. Then we'll come back up to us, have a vape and a big old flappery doogan. Hey guys, very quick brief up closely of the C1 color tank, however you want to pronounce that, but this is what it is. This is it as a kit. This is how we received it. Patent pending, guys. Okay, so let's open her up, see what we get. Very similar to a Pro tank in terms of presentation and box design. It came sealed, so that's awesome stuff. You've got very quick bit of instructions. Sorry guys, instructions there on how to fill. It's recommended needle filling, and then use of the device in general. Very basic, I guess, but at least it's there, so that's always a thumbs up. Firstly, Cloupomizers heads. We'll go quickly into the head just to show you. You'd be used to this by now, I'd imagine, guys, but there you go. Wicking system, much like a Pro tank. These will not fit into a Pro tank. These are a little bit extended, and you've got a system up here that is a little bit weird with your holes in the top there, but we'll go into that as I break the device down a little bit. But that is that there. Okay, so you get two of those in with the kit, and then one installed in the device. This is the device itself. Okay, so you've got Cloupor. This feels like stainless steel to me. The top, however, does not. It may be though, but it feels more like a brass or a copper to me. But that is the top. So basically, under your top, no 510 drip tip here, guys. You haven't got the option for that. It is what it is. Okay, put that down here. Let's get rid of that. As we go into the tank, it's very similar to a Pro tank. So you'd unscrew this like you would with a Pro tank, and put it out, but then the core's all the way up here. What's it doing up there? But that's what it is. So the core's up here. I've just lost a rubber bung from it. Rubber bung slips over the top there, like so. Okay, so that's your system. You can't remove this post from the bottom base, bottom cap, sorry. O-ring in there, and your atomizer head just kind of unscrews here, like so, which is a wee bit strange, I guess, but that is what it is. So there you go, stem in the middle, the atomizer post goes on. Now, looking at the tank, very similar to a Pro Tank 2 tank. If it isn't the same tank, sorry guys, if it isn't the same tank, it's bloody close. Glass, so that's good. And then you've got the top cap, which again, this section doesn't feel like stainless steel to me. I can't say yes or no. In the instructions, it recommends filling through the sides. You see you've got the notches cut out. That's why it recommends a needle fill down there, and that'll fill it up. The minge is just returning, so if you're hearing noise, that's what it is. Let's put it back together. It's fairly simple stuff. Like so. We'll grab a new atomizer head. And plonk it in like that. Couple of little things to point out. Obviously you've got the edges there, although that's kind of I guess it's a preference thing. Found it quite practical. It's nice to use because of that. You get a bit of grip. This is the center pin there. It sticks out a lot, and it's not adjustable, guys, so you're going to have to make do with that. And your air comes in through the 510 up and then through the post, and basically as that sits over there, your air then comes out of, oh hello, your air comes out of the holes in the coil. I'm going to quickly fill it, guys. This was just a very quick show and tell, basically, just to show the differences. It's a Cloupomizers tank, so we're fairly familiar with them. I'm going to dump a bit on the wicks. Do what it recommends, stick the needle down the side, 45-degree angle, give it a squeeze. And there we go. Tank capacity, I mean, what the information we've got on these are fairly limited. Tank capacity is 2.5 mil off of the top of my head, and I reckon that's pretty damn close. If it isn't right, it doesn't actually specify what it is, so there you go guys, we're guessworking. But that is a very quick up close of the device. We'll have a little vape and a little chat about it now.
Hi guys, that was the up close and personal with the Cloupor C1 tank. We have both got one of these. Mine's currently elsewhere. It's been cleaned and just wasn't ready to be used basically. The coil I got in mine wasn't what I thought was up to scratch. His one's slightly better, so we're doing the review on this one because we assume this is how they're meant to be coming. So
indeed, they did send us through an Ego battery as well, guys, to run this on, which you could do with a plinth. I've got this on the VTR just because I like to be able to adjust it a little bit. Obviously, a couple of bits and bobs that we pointed out down low. The tank's very much pro tank style tank. Obviously, with the ridges the way they are designed, though, if this was to drop flat, top or bottom, that should prevent the tank being what hits the floor, which is obviously a good bit of design. In terms of materials, the top and bottom pieces, stainless steel, that seemed nice to me. The very top mouthpiece, questionable. I'm not entirely sure, to be honest with you. It may well be stainless steel, it just doesn't feel like it's stainless steel to me.
Obviously guys, these are pre-production apparently, so we haven't got much detail on these. These are just going from personal experiences with other tanks.
No details on these guys, none at all really, apart from what we've got from looking at this, because we didn't even know we were receiving this. Randomly a package from China arrives at my house from a company never had dealings with before. Have no idea how they got my address, to be honest with you, quite scary. But whatever, vaping gear. And yeah, so basically we have very little information about this whatsoever, but we're just trying to give you a review on what it's like. If you see them, if you want one, I'm sure you can find them. We will try and do a bit of research for you as well to help you do that. I've used it on and off for about a week, bits and bobs of it. This is the third atomizer head in it anyway, so that kind of gives you an indication of how much use it's had. Worm's use here's a fair bit as well.
Well, I used the first coil a fair bit, and when that one just wasn't up to scratch, even after 2 tanks, I was like, maybe the first tank just needs to be bedded in. The second tank I went through and it was just still not improved on my one, nowhere near to what his coils were giving him. So I kind of washed it, and I washed it the other night actually, and left it on the side, and I just didn't bother picking it up. So
there you go. Obviously guys, it's a pro tank-esque device, alright, glass tank, top and bottom, short wick coils. Now, I mean, the long wick coil would be beneficial when the coils at the top of the tank like this one is, but there's no room down there to get long wick coils. I haven't found that I dry hit with this. I think I move it around enough to not have to worry about it, but there will be people, same as the C4s when they first come out, the short wick C4s, there will be issues with dry hitting on this. I don't doubt for a second, with certain people, certain setups and so on and so forth, if you was to use this every day. We have no idea about pricing guys. Educated guesstimates for this kind of thing, if they're available from a UK vendor, we're going to imagine they'll be about
pro tank price
12 to 15 quid for the kit, which is not too bad. But that is completely down to the vendor. We have no idea on pricing, guys. We've been given bugger all information about it. I don't know, I'm behind this box, don't need it.
Do you go on to a 5 point?
Yeah, very quickly, just want to touch over something. No, all, like Inican are doing and Kanga are about to start doing, Cloupor do put genuine codes on their items, or you've got a QR code there, and you can go onto the site and you can see whether it's a genuine article. Not as much issue with cloning these as Pro Tanks, EVODs and SVDs and such, I imagine, but they've done it anyway, which is nice for you to be able to check whether what you've got is a legitimate device. So there you go. What we'll do is, as Mum said, we'll do the 5 point hitter and know that there'll be a flap in there. There you go. So we'll start off. Will you start off?
Yeah, it looks, it's okay looking. It's Pro Tank with a little bit of like, I'd say a kind of a nut feature. Yeah, it's okay. It's not bad. I would give it a 6. It's not my preference, but I didn't like the Pro Tank either. So I mean, the Pro Tank is a good looking tank. It's just not my preference again. This is just one of those ones that it's not even close to my preference really.
Looks for me, it's very Pro Tank 1-ish, as Worms pointed out. For me, I actually prefer it to the Pro Tank 1. I like the fact you can take the top off. You can't replace it with anything you like, but you can take it off. I like the fact that this has got, I've said before in videos as well, I am more practicality over form. Okay, I like the fact that it's sort of hex bolted. I do think that's quite nice, but when you're undoing a tank, that little thing makes a difference, and that's more practical. I quite like how it looks as well, which is good, but it's actually a practical purpose, so I enjoy that. Looks for me, 8 for looks. I think that's not too bad at all.
Usability, well, it's a Cloupor, a Glassomizer, replaceable head system. They're easy to use, let's be honest. This one, it comes apart in all its pieces, so you can easily clean it and that sort of stuff. So the usability is literally fill it up, replace the core when it needs replacing, and put the juice in. It's a 10, it is. All Cloupor are pretty much 10s. Glassomizers in there as well, sort of thing.
Having said I haven't got a dry hit, I've just got a dry hit, so there you go guys, we did say it'd be an issue, not but 2 minutes ago. Usability for me, usability is the same as a Pro Tank, there or thereabouts. So if you can use a Pro Tank, you can use any Cloupor really as well. I've just said they're all fairly easy. For an experienced user it's a 10, it's just a walk in the park. For a novice user I believe there's easier out there. So overall my mark for this is going to be an 8, just purely because I think there are easier out there, and I know what they're trying to do with the pattern pending and it being a unique design, which is good. We like sort of people trying different things because that's how this progresses, but I don't know if this is necessarily even on paper before putting it together. I would have thought it would be a good idea, but that is what it is. Yeah, so usability for me overall is getting an 8. I just want to quickly chuck something else in with usability. With having the non-adjustable centre pin, you're going to have, if you've got gap with a Pro Tank, you're going to definitely have gap with this, because that centre pin does stick out quite a lot. Even on this VTR, this takes a lot of slack away, and still I'm not able to flush this. So there you go, just something to bear in mind, guys.
Maintenance of the devices, buying new coils and basically cleaning it. That is it. I mean, it's not hard to clean these. They're all pretty much big parts. You literally take it apart, rinse it out of the tap, leave it to air dry, put it back together, fill it with juice, put a new coil in. It's a 10. It just is. It's a Cloupor Glassomizer replaceable head system. They're not hard to maintain, especially with the glass. You haven't got to worry about the juice cracking factor either. So yeah.
There you go. Maintenance for me. You just pull it apart, wash it, as well said, change the head. The advantage of this is the same as the Pro Tank and the EVOD. You can change the head whilst it's completely full of juice without having to disassemble the tank, which is a thumbs up for that. And obviously the fact it's glass as well makes it easy to clean, get rid of flavours you had in there. If you've had Novas and stuff that are polycarbonate, you'll notice certain flavours do tend to stick around even in the tank. Maintenance for me, it's not hard to maintain. You can give it a 10. In the UK, if you were to buy this, the maintenance mark may be completely different depending on where you get it from, because these heads are not readily available in the UK anyway. They may be coming, again, pre-production, it could drop and be the next hot thing, but as of right now when we're doing this review, finding heads would be an issue. So
finding the device would be an issue.
Finding the device may be an issue, yes, because there's a lot of reviews on it and a lot of talk about it on forums, but there's not 2 pages on Google, first 2 pages when searching this tank, none of them were a site advertising this. So there you go. Flavour and vapour.
The vapour isn't too bad. The amount of vapour is borderline on the same level as a Pro Tank, the first one, not the second one, the first one where they had before they revamped their coils. The amount of vapour is pretty good for a Cloupor or Glassomizer. Yeah, I'm going to put it around the 7 to 8. Because that's kind of where Glassomizers and Cloupor sit. Flavour, terrible. None. I get no flavour off this. I get a hint of what's left of the flavour, you know, like after you vape a flavour, you know, and you know you've got that kind of lasting little bit of taste on your tongue, which is very subtle. That's all I get. I don't get any flavour on the inhale, on the exhale. It's only mildly afterwards, if I've been vaping it a while, that I get a little bit of taste left on my tongue. And that's only from the actual vapour itself, and that's nothing to do with the core. Put the same juice in something else, could taste the flavour and through the inhale and the exhale. The cores that I got on my one, terrible. Absolutely terrible. But for the one I got, 0. There was no flavour. But none. The one that Mr. Proton's using and has been using, all his cores seem to be fine, 3. They are shocking heads, and they need to revamp them before they put this into proper production, because they are worse than the Pro Tank 1 heads, and the Pro Tank 1 heads were terrible.
There you go. Flavour and vapour for me. Vapour, I agree with them totally. About an 8-ish, 7 or 8. Like in the original Pro Tank, much more than you can get from a cigarette. That's all we need to say about vapour, really. Flavour, I agree entirely with him. I do. I'd go, well, I think I've been a bit harsh. No, I do. I'm using a tobacco juice in this. I've been using this tobacco juice for the last 5 days and nothing but this tobacco juice. Okay, the tobacco juice is very sweet that I'm using. It is on the tongue. You've got a slight bit of a rolling tobacco. It's quite a nice juice. One for me, smokeless. We'll be doing that soon anyway. But yeah, it's quite a nice juice. I've been enjoying it. And there's 12 milligrams strength. In terms of throat hit, there's none. In terms of flavour, you can just about taste it as it leaves your mouth, and we're talking just about for a second and it's gone.
Let's put this into terms that you obviously know from our juice reviews. I hate tobaccos. I can vape tobacco in this all day long, no problem, because all I'm getting is the nicotine. I'm not getting any taste from this or whatsoever. Joke.
There you go. Yeah, flavour for me, I'm not going to give it a num because I can taste something eventually, briefly, for half a second, so it's going to get a 0.5, but it's still not getting high, mate. And flavour off that now, even I mean, if you watched our Pro Tank 1 review, you see I had a little bitch fit in that, because once changing the head, you couldn't taste anything, and I think I gave that a 5. You could really taste anything. This is worse than that. So this is getting a 2 for me for overall flavour. Unfortunately, it needs some serious work.
I'll take it back. I can taste silica.
Okay, there you go. The heads. I mean, don't get me wrong, guys. We're used to cotton in drippers, so we're used to seriously intense flavour. But I use a Pro Tank 2 the other day quite happily, no problem whatsoever. I've re-wicked a Pro Tank 2, and then I'm even happier with it. These can be re-wicked, okay? So it's not the end of the world, but the heads need to be worked on from factory, because most guys who buy this kind of setup aren't going to be re-wicking it immediately. It's only if you're doing what we do that you may do that. So that is what it is, but the low mark is flavour for sure on this one.
I am going to attempt to try and get a long wick down one of the sides, because there are 2 vent holes for the juice to actually be filled up. I'm going to attempt to try and get some coils down there, maybe somehow. Not sure how yet, but I'm going to do that probably over the Christmas period, where we're all off and doing our own thing during the Christmas time. I might go away for 10 minutes to try that and get back to you. I'll post that the results on the Facebook group, so if you're there, you obviously know what happens, and if you're not there, come and join. Freely welcome to come and join everyone.
I'll probably do the same, but not with the wicks. I'll probably just stick what I would do in a Pro Tank 2 head in and see if that improves this. I mean, I'm hoping it does, because barring that, the tank itself, there's not much I don't like about it. There's bits and bobs, but we'll go for that in a second, I suppose. Overall,
it is well built, and it is okay looking if you're into that sort of design. So if you do like the design and that, it's quite good. But the fact that the standard coils are terrible at the moment, it's got to be a 2. Just because, yes, it is well built, and then if it's your style look, you're going to like it, but you're going to need to be wrecking your own coils, or maybe by the time this actually comes to UK sites where you can get it readily available, and that they might have redesigned their head and it's actually a really good tank. But at the moment, as it stands, the coils let it down.
Overall for me, I like the build. I don't like. I wish you could somehow incorporate a 510 drip tip adapter into it, so you had an adapter and then you just plonk your drip tip in. I prefer that. But it looks pretty good. It's built really well. It's got Pyrex in there. I'm going to give it, for build, it's an 8. For the experience, it's a 2. So I'm going to give it a sort of a 5. No, it's going to be a 4 because the flavour is what it's all about. It's going to be a 4, and I'm not recommending it based on the heads and stuff that's inside it. There could be a few tweaks that could make this a really, really good tank. One of them being a spring-loaded centre pin. It doesn't matter if it's like that far, if it's spring-loaded, it will come in, but that at the minute is very, very big. And most guys will be using these Nego batteries, and most guys will be like myself, where they tighten things. I think they jump in, they want them to be tight, and then they'll push the positive connection on their ego straight through, which is obviously not good. And the main one is the heads. It's definitely the heads. So yeah, that's how I overall on it. Other than that, it's a shame. It really is a shame. we will see, hopefully, they will send us one of their production ones when they have decided to proceed with that. And all will be well and things will be different. Again, this is pre-production, so if you're watching this and you're looking at one that's actually on a vendor site right now, chances are there will be differences between that and this. Ask them the question, see if they know. Failing that, hopefully we've got the production one, so then we can do a follow-up review on what they're planning on releasing, and that would be awesome, obviously. We do like the fact, and we're grateful to them almost, that they're trying new things, because that's how we progress, that's how we get better stuff. Patent pending, which means they don't plan on bastards cloning this thing. I can imagine that patent's going to be pending for quite a while though, so that is what it is. But we're moving forward. It's just, I don't think this is a step in the right direction.
Not everything new is going to work first time, let's be fair. I mean, something is going to go wrong, something is going to turn out wicked.
They have got some really good, I mean, I'm just looking, we've got the website scrolling through over there, and they've got some really sort of good looking starting Glasomizers, and most of them are containing glass. They're all kind of revolutionary, if you want to call it that, in terms of design. So go ahead and check out the website if you want to see what we're talking about. Go and have a look at the website, just because I think they've got some cool looking tanks, and they're all coming properly packaged with a little instructions card like you see. So these are all good things. It's just we don't think the heads on this one are working right at the minute, and we're going to try it again with one of ours, and we'll let you know on the Facebook. So if you're interested in that, jump along to the Facebook.
Yeah, obviously guys, Facebook and Twitter will be down there as well, guys.
As
so
they always are.
More active on the Facebook than the Twitter. We go on the Twitter.
Twitter, you will have to approach us.
Yeah.
Facebook, chances are you will be approached. So that's just how it is. Right, I think we're done.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for watching, guys. I've been Mr. Proton. This has been The Worm. See you soon.